Karen packed up my son's room for her kid, then cried when I called 911 and the news crew. The air in our quiet suburban street was thick with summer heat, but inside my house, a different kind of fire was raging. I'm Lena, a single mom to my 15-year-old son, Ethan, who's been my anchor since his dad walked out. Our home was our sanctuary, especially Ethan's room, a haven of posters, baseball gear, and dreams of making varsity. But that sanctuary was violated, and it all started with Karen, our neighbor with a smile as sharp as a switchblade. Karen moved in 6 months ago, her SUV always parked crooked, her voice carrying complaints about everyone's lawn. She had a daughter, Mia, a shy 12-year-old who seemed to shrink in her mother's shadow. Karen was the type to demand HOA meetings over a misplaced recycling bin, but I never imagined she'd cross the line into my home. It began with small things, her borrowing my garden tools without asking, her snide comments about my cluttered porch. I brushed it off, thinking she was just lonely, trying to assert control in a new neighborhood. But I was wrong, dead wrong. Last Friday, I came home from a double shift at the hospital to find my front door ajar. Ethan was at baseball camp, so the house should have been empty. My heart thudded as I stepped inside, expecting a break-in. Instead, I found Karen in Ethan's room, packing his belongings into cardboard boxes. His posters were ripped down, his trophies stuffed into trash bags. Mia stood in the corner, clutching a stuffed animal, her eyes wide with guilt. "What the hell are you doing?" I screamed, my voice cracking. Karen turned, unfazed, her lips curling into a patronizing smile. "Lena, calm down. Mia needs a proper space for her art projects. Your son's barely here, and this room's just collecting dust. I'm doing you a favor organizing." My blood boiled. She'd let herself in with a spare key I'd once lent her for a delivery. She'd invaded our home, claiming Ethan's space for her kid like it was her right. I grabbed my phone, hands shaking, and dialed 911. "There's an intruder in my house," I said, my voice steady despite the rage. The police arrived, followed by a local news crew that must have caught wind of the call. Karen's confidence crumbled as the cameras rolled. She started sobbing, clutching Mia, painting herself as the victim. "I was just trying to help," she wailed, mascara streaking her face. The neighbors gathered, whispering, judging. I didn't care about her tears. She'd crossed a line and I wanted justice. But then came the twist I didn't see coming. As the officers questioned Karen, Mia stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Mom made me do it," she whispered. "She said Ethan's mom didn't deserve this house because she's never home. She said we could take it." The room went silent. Karen's sobs stopped, her face paling. Mia's confession wasn't just a betrayal of her mother, it was a cry for help. I looked at the girl, her eyes red, and realized she was as much a victim of Karen's entitlement as we were. The police escorted Karen out, citing trespassing and theft for now, but the real damage was done. Ethan came home that evening, his face falling as he saw his room in disarray. I tried to shield him, but he pushed past me, picking up a cracked picture frame of him and his dad. "Why would she do this, Mom?" he asked, his voice breaking. I had no answer. The news crew aired the story that night, painting Karen as the villain and me as the wrong single mom. But it didn't feel like a victory. My son's safe space was gone, and Mia's words kept echoing in my head. Over the next few days, the neighborhood turned on Karen. Her SUV was egged, her mailbox stuffed with hate mail. I should have felt vindicated, but instead, I felt hollow. I saw Mia sitting alone on her porch, her art supplies untouched. I wondered what kind of pressure Karen had put her under, what kind of life that girl was living. I thought about pressing charges, but Mia's confession made me hesitate. Was Karen a monster? Or was she a desperate mother who'd lost her way? I didn't know anymore. In the end, Karen moved out, her house sold within a month. Ethan and I rebuilt his room, but it wasn't the same. The trust was gone, not just in Karen, but in the idea of community. I kept replaying Mia's words, wondering if I'd missed a chance to help her. The news moved on, but our wounds didn't. Sometimes, I catch Ethan staring out the window, as if waiting for another invasion. And I wonder if I did the right thing by calling 911, or if I just fueled a cycle of anger and shame. What would you have done in my place? Fought for justice or tried to understand the other side? Share your thoughts on where the line between right and wrong lies in a community torn by conflict.